Hey everybody, I'm Mike, and this video is part of a series I'm doing, an in-depth series on blending modes. We're going through each blending mode, layer blending mode, in Photoshop and in Manga Studio, and I'm going to explain the technical description for exactly what they do, and then I'm also going to show you maybe some ways that you might use it. So this first one's really easy. It's the Darken mode. Sometimes it's labeled as Compare. And all of these we're going to be working on a layer below, probably art that I've done. This is a painting that I just scanned, a watercolor paper painting. And but you know, these blending modes can be used to edit photos. They can be used to edit digital art, whatever you want. And then I have a layer on top, which is going to be the blending mode layer. And so as we go, I'm just going to change the blending mode, and there'll be a separate video for each. So the way this works is we're going to change the blending mode to Darken. And the technical definition of what Darken does is that the RGB values of the set layer, now the set layer is this Darken layer, this layer that's sitting on top of your art here, and the layer below are compared, and the color with the lower value is displayed. So, for example, let's go right in. If you take on this is set to Darken, really basically all of these pixels, even though it varies a little bit, are gonna get filled up, right? But if I were to go over to here, notice that that's not the case. So there are definitely darker pixels in here, so you're only darkening in a little bit. Now, why would you do this is the more important thing. Well, this painting is a good example. This was done in ink wash, and I have like a weird mixed media style. I don't know what to call it, but all these black parts are pretty much done with India ink. You can tell that it's not as even as gouache paint, as paint in some of the other places. And I don't really paint evenly anyways. And if you want, instead of globally changing the contrast, like to get those blacks back, so you might go do a tonal correction and do a global contrast and raise that contrast. But when you raise the contrast, yes, you'll make the darks darker, but you're going to make the lights lighter. And you can do a tone curve, you can do all kinds of things. But maybe you just want to get your darker values back and you like how it looks. So swoop on down to a nice dark color, or all the way down if you want. And you can just kind of globally brush in over these colors, and wherever the super dark pixels are in there, they'll stay. And you're preserving any darker pixels. So it's really better for for butting up to areas that are already really, really dark and just sort of smoothing them out, creating nice gradients and getting the contrasted look that you want. That's how I would use it. So you're darken and lighten in these comparative layers. You're going to either be trying to preserve super dark pixels or preserve white. So yeah, that's it. Darken is one of the simplest to understand. It's a compare operation, and it's great for adding contrast without making a global change to your thing. And you can always select areas out. Remember, there's a million ways to do anything. There's never one way. And that's why maybe you want to watch a lot of different videos on these things, because different people will have a different perspective. But I wish you the best in your art, and please like, subscribe, and tell me if you want more tutorial type videos. I don't make a ton of them, but I made one blending mode video, and a lot of people watched it, so I figured I'd make some more that were more in depth. Okay? Goodbye.